Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Nimisha Jadon from School of Studies Environmental Chemistry, Jivaji University, Gwalior. Today we are going to discuss about a module biopesticides and the integrated pest management under the paper of environmental analysis. The learning objective of this module including the introduction of biopesticides, then the various categories of biopesticides and its characteristics, advantages and limitations of using biopesticides, then introduction of integrated pest management and its principle and the application in the agriculture field. First of all, we have discussed about the biopesticides. The biopesticide term shows that it comprises with bio then the pesticide. It means the biological products or the environmental natural friendly products which are using as a pesticide. That means the pesticide to kill the pest is known as the biopesticides. These are the natural occurring substance that control pest or the biochemical pesticides or the microbes that control pest that known as microbial pesticide, and the pesticidal substances produces by plants containing added genetic material or the plant incorporated protectants, that is also known as PIPs, that is plant incorporated protectants. They are naturally occurring substances that control pest by non-toxic mechanisms. Biopesticides are playing a key component of integrated pest management program and are receiving much practical attention as a means of reduce the load of synthetic chemical products being used to control the plant diseases. The biopesticides are natural plant products belonging to the so-called secondary metabolites, which includes the thousands of alkaloids, terpenoids, phenolics and the minor secondary chemicals.
Here in this figure, we are discussing about the biopesticides in nature. In this figure, we have seen the insects which are used as a biopesticides, nematodes and predators also working as a biopesticides. Then the microbes like bacteria, fungi, yeast, viruses and protozoa, they are already present in the nature and working as a biopesticides. Then GMO, that is genetically modified organisms, are also used as a integrated pest management as a biopesticide, and some biochemicals like insect sex pheromones, plant extracts, growth regulators and plant resistance activators, etc. The biopesticides fall into the following major categories. Number 1 is the microbial pesticides. Number 2 is the viral pesticides. Number 3 is the bacterial pesticides. Number 4, fungal pesticides. And number 5, protozoan pesticides. Here in this figure, you have seen that the biopesticides we have discussed here is the microbial pesticides, then biochemical pesticides and biologically controlled agent. The microbial pesticides are generally used as bacteria as a microbial pesticide like Bacillus thuringiensis. In this figure, it is an example of the working of microbial pesticide. There is a crop which is infected by the European corn borer, and when the Bacillus thuringiensis applied enter into this crop, then it is genetically converted and enter the Bt genes into the crop. Then after, when the pest is attacked on the crop, then the pest died when feeding the any part of the plant. So role biopesticides or the microbial pesticides genetically modified the plants activities, and they are self resistant with the such type of infected bacteria or the some like borers and the other insects. Here in this figure, I am discussing about the pesticide use pattern. In the context of India, the maximum pesticides are used in the country is covered by the insecticide, that is a 65%. These are pure chemicals and they are affects the human life as well as the agriculture field also. Then the 15% is covered by the fungicides, and the 16% are used by the herbicide, and the 4% use the other techniques of controlling the pest or the insect in the agriculture field.
Now we are discussing here the microbial pesticides. Approximately 1500 naturally occurring microorganisms have been identified as potentially useful pesticidal agents. The microbes that are pathogenic to insects have relatively narrow host range, which makes it possible to reduce specific pest population while useful predators and the beneficial insects are preserved. The second class of the other biopesticide, including the viral insecticides. The viruses have an interesting ecological specificity and the unique location within the biological world. The mass production of many of the insects viruses involves the incubation of the infected insects and harvesting of diseased larvae or the adult insects. Then the purification of viral preparation is done.
Here in this figure, the microbial biopesticide use pattern are described. First is the maximum part is used for the in the agriculture field is covered by the synthetic pesticides, and the small portion of the agriculture land is only use of biopesticide. Then these biopesticides is again covered by the plant incorporated protectant pesticides or the biochemicals, and the one third portion is depends on the microorganisms which are working as an biopesticides. The use of microorganism as a microbiological pesticide, the maximum part of covered by the bacterial use as a biopesticide, and the rest part is used by the viruses, omycetes, then campigons, and the predators or the parasites which also working as a biopesticide in the field. Then in the bacteria, the maximum species used are the Bacillus thuringiensis, Bacillus subtilis, and Pseudomonas species are the major bacteria and the which are used as a biopesticide. Then the other plant beneficially rhizobacteria, including the Streptomycos, Orthobacter, Azotobacter, Burkholderia, Pantoi, and Saritania and Polymonas.
Here we are discussing viral insecticide. The table shows the various types of viruses and their target organisms. Like Halothes NPV target the organism corn tobacco budworm. Then Limnathria dipar, that NPV control the organism gypsy mouth. Then Orgia pseudosugata control the organism Douglas tussock moth, and the Dendrolinids spectabilis CPV control the pine caterpillar.
The next one is the bacterial insecticide. A number of facultative pathogenic bacteria are known to attack insects by a number of mechanisms such as invasion of tissues or the production of toxins. The bacteria can be divided into three ecological types: those which produce within the susceptible host systems; second, those which do not reproduce, necessitating repeated application; and third one is those of either type A or B depending on the circumstances. The Bacillus thuringiensis, that is Bt toxin product, has been tried against Lepidopterans larvae to kill them. The next one is the fungal insecticide. The entomopathogenous fungi are widely distributed and represented the largest and the most diverse group of insect pathogens. Here we are discussing about the commercial myco-insecticides which are used as a biopesticides. The fungi used is Bovierania bassiana. The trade name of this fungus is bovirin and the target organism is Colorado potato beetle. The next is the Normure. The trade name of this Normure is the EAO and the target organism of this myco-insecticide is Lepidopteran larva. Then the third one fungi is Trichoderma. Its trade name is TV and its target organism is apple canker disease. The next one is the protozoan biopesticide. There are very few protozoa have been mass produced industrially or used as biopesticide in large scale field trial. We have discussed here some of the protozoa that are working as a biopesticides and their target organism. The number one is Nosema locustae and its target organism is grasshopper. The second one is Nosema rosta and its target organism is European corn borer. Third one is Verrimorpha nectarix budworm and its target organism is cornworm and tobacco. In this figure, we are discussing about the role of microorganism and plants to mitigate pollutants. Here in this figure, we have seen that the vegetation, water, soil and the microorganisms are remediate from the pollutants by using various bioremediation techniques like phytoextraction and phytostabilization remove the pollutants which are present in the soil. Then the bioattenuation is the another process which reduces the pollutants from the soil particle. And then at the level of nutrients and microorganism, biostimulation and bioaugmentation process are used to reduces the pollutant from the soil. Then the phytodegradation, phytosequestration and the volatilization is the another process which used at the level of plant development to remove the pollutants from the soil as well as from the air. Now we are discussing here about the characteristics of biopesticides. The sum of the attributes or the characteristics of biopesticides included the high searching capacity. This is a primary need, particularly in a situation of low host density. Then the second one is the host specificity. A high degree of host specificity implies good biophysical adaptation to the host and a fairly direct dependence on changes in the host population. Then the third one characteristics is the potential rate of increase. This includes a short development period and relatively high effectiveness. The next one characteristics is survival capacity. This includes the ability of the biopesticide to occupy all host inhabiting places. Then the next characteristics is amenability to culture. It should be amenable to culture under the artificial conditions. The next we are discussing about the feasibility of biological control. The feasibility of biological control depends on the following factor. The number one is tolerance limit of injury. It is probably the most fundamental consideration, because if little or no injury is tolerable, then the adoption of biological control is probably entirely unsuitable. Then the next is the value of the crops. The economics of the situation regulated the adoption of control measures. Then the next one is the crop duration. Perennial crops appear to be more amenable to the biological control. The next one is exotic pest. The biological control of indigenous and exotic pest can be achieved with equal success. The next one is level of control provided by biopesticides. Every pest species has its natural enemy complex. Then the next one is pest complex and the desirable level of complex. Crops are usually ravaged by multiple pests. When the problem is unitary, this can be tackled effectively by natural enemies if certain amount of damage is tolerable. Then the next one is identical situation of successful examples. It has been found that waste is isolated area have been successfully controlled by biopesticides. Introduction of biopesticides from such areas to new areas having similar pest situation have been profitably exploited.
Now we are discussing about the advantages of biopesticides. Usually harmless to non-target organisms, and the residue or the pollution hazards are no problem. It means the biopesticides is only act on the targeted organism, and it is not target the other organism rather than the pest or the specific insecticide. It is usually highly specific, and so beneficial insects escape injury. Then the third one advantage of using biopesticide, including the pathogenic agents, are usually compatible with chemical insecticide and thus advantageous in integrated control. There are apparently slow development of resistance by pest to pathogens and the insect biopesticides. The next advantage is that the both microbial and the insect agents for biocontrol have sustained effect on the pest population, as the diseases may be borne by the residual population of the pest. Then the next advantage is they can be used under moderate to severe disease pressure. Now we are discussing about the disadvantages or the limitations of using biopesticides. The initial cost is in evolving biocontrol measure is quite expensive. Then the second disadvantage is this process is the time consuming process. Then the third one disadvantage is during the epidemic outbreak of the pest, the time lag between the release of biopesticides and its effect on the suppression of the pest population, that may be such that the heavy economic loss would have to be increased. A pathogen is often difficult to maintain in a virulent and the viable state is the next one disadvantage of using the biopesticide as a pesticide. And the last disadvantage is that the unpredictable changes in the climate may impair the efficacy of the pathogens and the biopesticides. Now we are discussing about the integrated pest management. The integrated pest management is an ecological approach to agricultural pest control, and that integrates the pesticides or the herbicides into a management system incorporated incorporating a range of economic practices for the control of pest.
Here in this picture, we have discussed about the integrated pest management. This picture shows that the integrated pest management is an organic and sustainable method for controlling unwanted pests in your garden by combining multiple strategies which work together to create effective long-term management pest. The prevention plus avoidance plus monitoring plus suppression equal to known as integrated pest management. It also affects the human behavior, then the biological control and habitat design. They all the process are integrated with each other and control the process of integrated pest management. In this figure, we have discussed here about the various processes involved in the integrated pest management. For the integrated pest management, first of all, we have to do the inspection to identifying the problem. The second one is the process of identification where we can find out the root cause of problem. Then the monitoring is the next step. And after the monitoring, the action is taken for the pest control and finally evaluation of the method so that these all methods are interlinked with each other and controlling by the integrated pest management. Integrated pest management programs use current comprehensive information on the life cycles of pests and their interaction with the environment. This information, in combination with available pest control methods, is used to manage pest damage by the most of the economic means. The IPM is intelligent selection and use of pest control action that ensure favorable economic, ecological, and sociological consequences. Here in this figure, we have discussed the various methods used for the integrated pest management that include physical method, chemical method, biological method, and the cultural method.
The IPM or the integrated pest management practices introduced in the use shortly after the year 1812 when the synthetic insecticides become wide available and the entomologists in California developed the concepts of supervised insect control because up to and after the second war the most of the second world war the most of the people are affected with the detrimental effects of the highly concentrated chlorinated or the pesticides. So afterwards the integrated pest management mechanisms come into the force so that we can control the pest with the help of natural products. Now we are discussing here about the principle of integrated pest management. An integrated pest management system is designed around six basic components. Number one is the acceptable pest level. Number two is the preventive culture practices. Number three is the monitoring. Number four is the mechanical control. Number five is the biological control, and the number six is the responsible pesticides use.
Here in this figure, we are discussing about the principle of integrated pest management, which is controlled by the cultural activity, biological control, input analysis, and human resource development. And they all are governed by the different activities like cultural control is done by the grow a healthy crop, then the biological control is done by conserve natural enemies, then input analysis done by observing crop regularly, and human resource development done by farmer become technically expert. Here in this figure, we are discussing the integrated pest management model of continual improvement. The step 1 included the knowledge of key pests life cycles, natural enemies, and growing areas. This step including the site selection, then the variety, time of planning and rotation, water and nutrition management, farm hygiene, and the pest host management. The third step is observation. This step including the crop monitoring, pest prediction model, pheromone traps, and yellow sticky traps. The next step is the intervention. This step includes the mechanical control, biological controls, and the chemical controls. And the fifth step is the evaluation and planning, which includes the review monitoring records, talking, listening, reading, thinking, consult, and adopt. And these all five steps are interlinked with each other for the continual improvement of integrated pest management model. Now we are discussing here the process of integrated pest management. The IPM process consists of the following steps. The number one step is the proper identification of the pest. The pest is identified properly and the cases of the mistaken identity may result in effective action. The second step is the learn pest and host life cycle and the host life cycle and the biology. For applying the integrated pest management, first one should aware about the what a pest needs to survive, allow to remove these pests, and also to study the stages of pest life cycle is necessary to eradicate them. And also person is very well known about the host life cycle and its whole biological system. Then the third step of the process is monitor environment for pest population. The preventive actions must be taken at correct time if they are to be effective. Once the pest is correctly identified, monitoring must begin before it becomes a problem. Monitoring includes crop scouting, checking status of water source being used for irrigation. The next step is the established action threshold. In some cases, there is a standardized number of pests that can be tolerated. Conversely, there is a point at which action must be taken to control cost. The next step is use resources to keep up to date on IPM development. The researchers are always discovering new techniques and ways to improve the old techniques. The next step is choose an appropriate combination of management tactics. For any pest situation, there will be several options to consider management tactics. The options included mechanical or physical control, cultural control, biological or chemical control. And the last one step is evaluate results. The evaluation is the process to review an IPM program and the result is generated. Here in this picture, we have discussed the step-by-step guide to decision making and the key components of IPM. The number one is learn. Understand the key weeds, diseases, insects, pests, natural enemies, and crop life cycle. Then the second step is prevent. The prevention through good planning, for example, site selection, variety, crop rotation, farm hygiene, optimum production time is the integrated part of this step. Then the third one step is the monitoring. The crop monitoring for weeds, diseases, insect pests, mites, beneficials are very much important. Use all available monitoring tools to monitor the continuous development of the crop as well as the some weeds or diseases. Then the fourth one step is the control decision. The what action is the most appropriate for the crop stage and the observed pest pressure is an important to decide at the particular time. For example, the biological soft option products, targeted chemicals or the mechanical control is the part of this control decision. And finally, we review the assess harvest percentage by the crop record, yields, damage against management decision, and then these four processes evaluated continuously time to time so that we can assess that the by using the integrated management pest management techniques, the we can harvest a maximum percentage of agricultural products or not. Here, this figure shows the biological integrated pest management technology hierarchy. These methods including prevention, avoiding, monitoring and suppression process. In the at the base of this triangle, the first one is the biological control, the parasitoids, predators, competitors and the other natural enemies of weeds, insects, nematodes and microbial plant pathogens, etc., are controlled biologically at this stage. Then more tools are used like resistance elicitators, host genetic resistance, nutrition, culture control, mechanical control, pheromones, sterile male techniques, and irradiance, etc., are the second part stage of biological control. And finally, we can achieve the crop protection and biocide chemicals which are free from any synthetic chemicals.
Here we are discussing some applications of integrated pest management. These management practices used to manage pest damage by the most economic means. These methods can be applied to non-agricultural settings such as home and the garden. It is widely applied in the field of agriculture. These methods, preventive conservation, conservation adopt so that these by this method the conservation in situ and ex situ conservation of biodiversity can be managed. Then they can apply it in the commercial industries as well as in encompasses disease in the plants.
This figure shows the major advantages of using integrated pest management technologies. The number one, it reduces contaminations of the environment, the use of pesticide. The second one is the reduces input cost and the better use of natural resources. It also included the reduced contamination of the crop with the chemical residue, and it reduced the risk of farmers from the contamination with the chemicals. Then finally, the healthier plants was developed by using this technique, and the more regular crop quality and quantity increases with the use of integrated pest management technologies.
So at the end of this module, we can conclude it that this module describes the role of biopesticide and the integrated pest management practices as well as how the integrated pest management is designed and the steps involved in the process. We have also discussed the various types of biopesticides and their role to control the any types of various types of pollution. This module also describes about the various categories of biopesticides, their advantages, disadvantages and the application of biopesticides and using the technique of integrated pest management. Thank you so much.